Hiya folks, this week you are joining John's garage as we go on exploring a little bit. So I had an email from somebody and they're looking for a little bit of help welding. They need 2 sills done, but I said I'd help them out via the channel if possible. But when I kind of found out the car, I said, you know what, it's better off I just come and look at this car rather than trying to explain it to people. Just let you guys see for yourselves, because this is really worth seeing and worth exploring. So we're just going on a bit of an explore today. I'm not going to be driving this car because it's not on the road, but yeah, I thought you all would enjoy this. So let's have a little look at it. So here it is in all its glory. It is a 1997 Lincoln Towncar limousine, and this particular one is a Royale for that extra prestigious look. And don't adjust your monitors, folks, you are not looking at this wrong. This is 29 feet of pink Lincoln, and it's a little I suppose, looks a little bit shabby around the edges, but it's actually in pretty good condition underneath. It's pretty good condition mechanically. And I'm going to have to take a very long, very wide angle to try to get this complete car in shot if I can manage it. Let's go. Yeah, it's big and it's pink. And I hope you're enjoying the look of it. This is, as I say, I'm trying to get it all in camera here. So this is what Lincoln would have called or officially sold as a livery car. So you bought your standard town car, took it then to an official converter, or you could actually get Lincoln to do it themselves. They essentially took the standard car, cut it in half, welded in a massive box section, and then installed many seats. So this particular one takes 8 passengers. If it was to take 9, well then in that case you need a bus license to drive it. But as it currently stands, you don't. I hope the camera isn't too bumpy, folks. If it is, apologies. But my special gyro that I normally use decided it wasn't going to work today. So what exactly does the owner of this particular car need help with? They need help getting the sills welded. So the sills aren't in great condition. They look fine in the camera, but when you go underneath the car, they're pretty crusty. So if anyone can help with that or knows somebody who can, please let us know. Now, you can see the buttons here. So there's 2 ways to access this car. First is the key, obvious enough, and the second one is using a special code specific to this car via this pad. That means you can leave your keys inside the car, use the pad to get in and out. Handy if you're loading and unloading passengers. Anyway, I have the keys in here and I have it all disengaged. So it's a little bit grubby. The owner tells me it was on the road pre-COVID, but since COVID, they took it off the road because obviously they couldn't work the car and couldn't take lifts. So it needs an incredibly good buff, a little bit of a tidy up, clean up, but nothing really too much, other than the sills welded so it can pass its CVRT. The rear is interesting, to say the least. As I said, it was just worth showing you the car rather than trying to explain about the car, because it's bonkers. It's really cool. It's bonkers though. Now this is the thing I love about this channel. The amount of calls I get from people with, you know, strange cars, odd cars, different kind of cars. And this one just caught my eye. Got the original radio that works in Ireland. We have climate control. Now the front seat is missing, but that's for registration and insurance purposes. As I said, it's 8 passengers. If it was to have this in, well then automatically it would be 9 and you would need a bus license to operate it here in Ireland. You have all your controls there for the rear. So intercom, divider, sunroof open, privacy glass, and so on and so forth, and auxiliary power units. Now there's something that I think is really cool here. So I'm just going to turn on the car. See that digital dial? There may also be a hole in the exhaust, but that sounds pretty damn cool, I'm not gonna lie. So if you look over here to the side of the steering wheel, you have this setting called steering, low and high. This controls the steering assistant. So if I put it over there, I literally can turn this with one finger. So it makes driving in the city really, really easy for, as I say, these were designed as livery cars. And God, I can still turn it with one finger, but it's pretty easy to maneuver. Fill on left, obviously your petrol cap is over there. 93,000 miles, that is nothing for one of these. Now it's given me check air suspension. The owner has told me they've removed the air suspension, the airbags, as is very common. They have everything there to put it back in, but they just took it out. They have coil springs on it. You also have all of these different settings here. You can dim the panel switch as well via this one over here. You have your lights. And the cool thing is, it is an automatic gear change. You just bring it forward. You can see where the adjustment happens there. Let your foot off the off the brake, and off she goes. But I'm not driving this owner's car. There we go. And that's the column shift. Very, very cool Lincoln luxury. Quality of plastics, pretty standard for mid-90s American car, i.e. not great. But other than that, it's actually pretty comfortable here. I'm not going to lie, the seat is pillowy soft. We just give that engine a little rev. Oh, power. Let me just turn it off. Let's go have a look at the rear of the car. We'll come back to that engine in just a minute and we'll show you what's under the bonnet here. It's pretty impressive stuff. Open up the rear seats. Let's climb in. Oh my God, this is pink. This is like Penelope Pit Stop. You got a mirror on the roof. Very cool. This is very 90s, folks. Loads of glasses here, whiskey tumbler, champagne flutes. I believe there's a fridge in it, a little drawer over there. TV. Very, very 90s luxury. Originally, this car would have been white as well, folks. There's no point in that telling you it wasn't. You've got radio controls up here. You've all your little privacy glass. God, I feel like Donald Trump in here. Lots of other little bits and pieces, little controls, little vanity mirror if you're into that type of thing. Of course, I already know what my face looks like, so I'm not gonna bore you with that. There's a couple of little cubbies up here. I actually haven't looked in these, so interested to see what's going to be in there. Nothing, as the case may be. What about this one? Nothing. Little bottle holders and stuff like that. Lovely little lights up there as well. And so on and so forth. Standard American seat belts. These are really common to all cars of all generations. You can see the huge transmission tunnel that runs the entire length of the car here as well. And yeah, it's a great novelty car. I'm not going to lie, you know, it's not for me, but that doesn't mean it's not for somebody. As I said, I thought it was just best to show you all what we were going to be talking about. If I put out a shout out for somebody who'd like to weld this, these are just to look at the car. Now, of course, the other thing is, the roof on this is actually soft. I don't know whether you can see my finger pressing in there, but that's not a hard roof. Lights here shine along the side at night. Owner tells me if you're reversing this at night, these can be a little bit problematic. They're going to put in a reversing camera because they kind of block the view of the mirror. Now, let's have a look at the business end of this car. So we're going to release the trunk. Or the hood. Sorry, we're in America right now, so that's called the hood. Of course, I didn't mean trunk, I meant bonnet. I believe there's a little switch in here. Hey, look at that growler at the end of the bonnet. Nice. Or on top of the grille, I should say. Now, 5 litre fuel injected V8. Nice. Delivering a whopping, wait for this folks, 160 horsepower. We got 5 litre V8, Ford V8, delivering 160 horsepower. Where does it all go? I don't understand how Americans managed to do this, but there you go. The owner has done a couple of jobs on it. They tell me if you remove the radiator and fan, you can just climb on in there and do your work. It's very, very easy. Interesting thing to note as well is, I'll try and pick it up over here if I can. It's a ladder frame chassis. Just like your Defenders and Discoveries, body on frame. So very, very easy to take it all apart. And of course, these engines, being livery cars, were designed for long service intervals, hardy use, hardy work. They're actually really reliable and owner tells me parts are very cheap, very easy to get. So folks, if anyone can help the welder out and wants to weld 29 feet of Americana, get in touch, send me an email, and I'll pass on the owner's number. And as I said, it was easier to show you this than try and explain it. Okay folks, thanks for joining John's Garage this week. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye bye.